Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss about another example for head command where we will see how we can redirect or append the data that we have fetched as an output from head command. In our previous session, we discussed like how we can utilize the head command in order to fetch the top n number of rows from the screen from the file, right? Similarly, in the continuation of the same session, we will see like that time we just fetch the data through for the temporary purpose, right? Because that was not the saved data. The moment when you just exit from the screen, it will from the Qshell prompt, it will lose the data, right? So instead of losing it, what we can do, we can save it by redirecting it to any particular file or by appending the data. Don't get confused between the appending and redirecting. Redirecting is also a kind of appending is also kind of redirecting the data, but in case of like when we are doing data appending, that means there is something already exists in the file, and then what we are doing, we are directly appending that data into it, right? So this is the difference between appending the data and normally replacing the data that we will discuss in a like while we discuss the main steps that we need to follow for implementing these things. I'll explain you all these things in detail. Okay, fine. So before we start, let me slightly tell you about the head command, because some of you might be directly watching this session without referring the previous one. So just for them, like I'm repeating the definition of head command, that head command is mainly used in order to fetch the top n number of rows from the screen. Okay, sorry, not from the screen, from the file. So if you want to fetch top n number of records from a file, then in that case you can utilize the head command. Now after you have fetched the data, how we can redirect it, how we can append it, that we are going to discuss now. Okay, so firstly I'll tell you the requirement, and also I will show you what all files and data we have that we are going to use for the test purpose, and then later we will see the practical things, and at last we will see how we can use the same through clle program. Okay, so let me run one command here, which is worklnk. Now this worklnk command will do this thing, like it will open this screen which is work with object link. On this screen we have this directory. Okay, so this is my by default directory /home/Sharmit. In your case it would be different, because it is totally depend on the username. Let's say if your username is abcd, so it will show /home/abcd. Clear? Now here you can see we have various files and directories available. So from these files and directories we will pick any one of the file. Let me take the example for abc, yeah, this file. So this is the file that we are going to use for the demo purpose. Here you can see we have set the customized data which is from testing row 1 to testing row 25. Clear? So we have this data. Now what we will do, we will use the head command to fetch the top let's say top 7 rows from this file, which will include these records only. Okay, so what we will do, we will use the head command in order to fetch top 7 rows, and then that top 7 rows we will store into one file. Firstly we will directly store it into a new file, and secondly we will see like what will happen. Let's say if after fetching 7 rows I want to fetch next or I want to fetch 17 rows, so that I will show you through the what we can say appending. Okay, fine. So I think requirement is pretty much clear. Now we are good to start with the practical things. So let me copy this path for you, and then we will use it. Okay, so let me show you the main screen, which is qsh. What qsh will do, it will open the qshell command entry screen. Now on this qshell command entry screen, we will write here what we can say, we will write head, then space, then you can put the number of rows, like how many records you want to fetch. So let's say I want to fetch top 7 rows. Okay, so what I will do, I will write it here as head -7. Then we are supposed to pass the file path, which we have already copied, which is /home/Sharmit/abc.txt. Okay, after providing file path, what it will do, it will fetch the top 7 rows from this file. So let me hit enter here. After pressing enter, you can see this is the actual command which we have just used in order to fetch the top 7 rows from the file. Now from here, if I copy this path, if I do F3, so what will happen, like after taking F3, we just came out from the QSH session. So if I again go back to QSH session, there is no data. That means it was only the temporary data, not the permanent one. Okay, so that's the reason we are discussing today's session, like how to store it permanently. So to store this, what we can do, there is nothing difficult here. We can complete this task also with just single but with just slight modification. Let me show you that. So simply write head, then space, and then here you can put any number. For example, if it is n, then you can replace n with any character, any number. Okay, so let's say I want to fetch 7, so I will simply write here head space -7 space /home /sharmit /abc.txt. Now to redirect this data into any file, you can simply use a right angular bracket. After right angular bracket, you can simply write here the path of the file. For example, I want to create the file with the name testing, or let's give it with a name. Okay, so ABC is also we are using, so we can write a double B. Okay, so I think this is fine. So double B. So I just reuse this name, because if this file is already there, then it will replace your data. Okay, so make sure that whenever you are using this command, make sure to put the that file name only which you want to create. Okay, otherwise if that file is already existing, then it will replace your data. Okay, so now our command is ready. What we are doing here, we are using head command to fetch top 7 rows from this file, which is abc.txt, stored at /home /sharmit /abc.txt, and then we are redirecting the output into double-b.txt. If you want to store it any particular location, then I recommend you to go put a path here. But if you want to store it on a default location, then it is good. We are good to hit enter here. So once I hit enter, this command has been executed successfully. We have not received any error, so that means it is working fine. So let's see the data. Cat space double-b.txt. So it will show the data of this file, and you can see it contains only 7 rows. And now if you press F3, and if let's say if I again go to QSH and if I do cat double-b.txt, it will show the data, because this is the permanent file. Same thing you can also refer with the help of rpgle. So you can see that double-b file is existing. Let me show you again. Sorry, it's not work member PDM, it's work-lnk. Now if I do page down double-b.txt, and this is the file. Okay, so it contains the data. So this is how we can redirect the output from one file, how we can redirect the head command output into any file. Now if you want to append any data into this, so what we can do for that, you can simply write here qsh, just repeat the same command. Okay, and here instead of single angular bracket, we will write double angular bracket, double right angular bracket, and double-b.txt file, or whatever the file name in which you want to append the data, and then simply hit enter. So now what it will do, if I do right now cat space double-b.txt, it will show you the data which is the old data. This is the old data till here, and after that this is the data which we have appended. Okay, so I think now everything is clear how we can append the data into file and how we can redirect the data. Appending means if already there is some data, so it will append after that. But if you are just redirecting, then if file is already there, then it will replace the data and recreate your file. And if you provide any name which is not existing, then it will create a file for you. Okay, so yeah, that's all for this. Now I'll quickly show you how to use the same thing through CL program. So here it is. program to use head command to redirect and append output. Firstly, we need one variable, so simply write dcl, provide your variable name, type, storage and length. After that, we are good to use chgvar command. Chgvar, provide your command name, and command is, sorry, this is the variable, not the command name. Okay, then head -5, this time I'm using -5 to um, yeah, you can use this thing, or let me replace it. Okay, so head 5 abcd.txt. Now what I'm doing, I'm just redirecting the output, I'm not appending it, okay, into www.txt. So in this case you will see that yes, current data will get replaced with this new data. Okay, then we are using strqsh, providing the variable name, and we are good with it. So yeah, it's time to compile it and see the output. And I'm calling this. After calling, we can check the output in worklnk command. Here I'll look for aab.txt. Yeah, so you can see now it contains the new data which we have redirected through CL program. Okay. Similarly, if you want to append, you can use double angular bracket, and then whatever you are appending, it will come after this data. Clear? So yeah, these are the all steps which we are supposed to follow in order to implement the this head command, in order to redirect or append the output of this head command. So that's all for today. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.